Thing about life is like a box of chocolates.
Oh, right. Something like that. But anyway, let's talk about trying and trying again, right? The double punt. Did you know it existed? Michael Dixon got his punt blocked there, runs around, and hits it again. Now, here's the key. He tracked the ball down. That punt went 68 yards, pinning Los Angeles at their own 11-yard line. So the block punt, right? He runs around. It was
Where's
4th and 14. He couldn't run for the first. What's that?
Where's the line of scrimmage in all of this?
I know. He's far behind it because it was 4th and 14. But still, beautiful play.
Much to the dismay of
I've never
Bay.
seen anything like a double punt either. You know, that was crazy. And then we end up being on the -10. I mean, what the hell?
What was the explanation they gave to you on that?
My brain doesn't have I don't have the brain power to be able to explain it. But basically what happened was, because he kicked it still behind the line of scrimmage, they reviewed it in New York. They said his foot was still on the line, so he wasn't totally over the line of scrimmage. So they said he can do that. I said, you can kick the ball twice, huh? You know, I guess you learn something every night.
There you go.
I love how he's so fired up about it.
Well, did you know it existed?
I had no idea.
I legitimately did not know.
I had no idea. I automatically thought it was going to be a penalty or something.
So did I.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, all right. Time for half-hour headlines.
That's
the top story of the morning is obviously what is happening in Seattle, and it's not just the loss. It's the loss column that's concerning, but also the loss of Russell Wilson. Could loom large. Rams over the Seahawks, 26-17. Now, according to Pete Carroll, Wilson has a badly sprained finger. Let's be honest, fingertips aren't supposed to bend the way we saw his bend. Carroll also said Wilson's need for surgery is TBD. But, quote, Russell is one of the great healers of all time. And he also heals Seattle's defense. Here's Brady Henderson.
Pete Carroll called it a badly sprained finger for Russell Wilson. And when I asked Carroll if there's any early indication as to how long Wilson may be out, he said it's too soon to tell. This is very much unfamiliar territory for the Seahawks. Wilson has never missed a game in his NFL career. Carroll called him one of the great healers of all time and said he'll do whatever he can to get back as quickly as possible. So his status for that Pittsburgh Steelers game 10 days from now seems very much up in the air. Now, Carroll did say that everybody was on board with the decision to pull Wilson in the fourth quarter in favor of Geno Smith. Once it became clear that Wilson could not grip the football well enough to throw it, they knew they were going to have to throw the ball all over the field in order to catch up in this game. Carroll said Wilson knows his body and he knows that he was not going to be able to help them.
In other quarterback injury news, Baker Mayfield has a torn labrum. The good news is that it's in his non-throwing shoulder. Not that that diminishes the pain he's likely in, but the team says it doesn't require surgery right now. And as long as it doesn't get worse, Mayfield can continue to play. The Browns play the Chargers Sunday afternoon.
Over to baseball, Randy Arozarena, the Rays playoff hero from last year, was at it again, stealing the show literally in the Rays' 5-0 win over the Red Sox, taking Game 1 of their ALDS series. The 26-year-old rookie homered and had a straight steal of home, the first player to do so in the playoffs since Jackie Robinson did it to Yogi Berra's Yanks in 1955. Here's Marley Rivera with more on that incredible moment.
Verde, verde, verde is what Tampa Bay manager Kevin Cash says he has heard from Randy Arozarena all season. Verde is Spanish for green, and the green light is what the Rays rookie always wants when he's on base. And that's exactly what he got in the 7th inning while standing on third. I've never seen anything like it, Cash said. That's because it had never been done. Arozarena became the first player in postseason history to homer and steal home in the same game. While Arozarena was making history, the Red Sox were getting shut out. But reinforcements may be on the way Friday behind ace Chris Sale. Alex Cora said there's a strong possibility that JD Martinez, who has yet to play this postseason, may start Game 2.
You think the steal is big? How about the power? Still technically a rookie, the 26-year-old Arozarena is putting his name in good company. With that homer last night, he has 11 over his last 19 postseason games, tied for second most in a 19-game span in postseason history. The only player with more? Babe Ruth.
Sounds pretty good. The Astros took Game 1 of the other American League Series, 6-1 over the White Sox. Lance McCullers didn't allow a run into the 7th in arguably the best postseason start of his career. Game 2 is today in Houston.
Last night's Islanders-Devils preseason game was canceled due to a power outage in part of New Jersey's Prudential Center. The teams in the NHL agreed conditions were unsuitable to play and the game was canceled. The Devils preseason is now over while the Islanders face the Rangers Saturday in their last game before the regular season starts.
The Nets say Kyrie Irving is not eligible to play in tonight's home preseason game, indicating he is still not vaccinated. Therefore, he's not allowed in the arena under New York's vaccine policies. Kyrie's not practiced with the team at all while they've been in New York. The law says New York-based professional athletes must be vaccinated against COVID-19 to both practice and play.
And Dak Prescott is preparing to face the Giants for the first time since suffering a compound fracture and dislocation of his right ankle against Big Blue Week 5 of last year, ending his season. He's also facing off against his former coach, Jason Garrett, now the Giants offensive coordinator. He weighed in on the matchup yesterday before something weighed in on him.
You've been through all the other milestones we've asked you about. Playing this game.
That's not a good question.
That's what that means.
Well, we have to ask
That will make sports sense.
All right, it will, huh? That's what that means. Let's leave that alone. That's exactly what that means.
Like, what is that? Like, look out for your blind side? Is that the equivalent of, like, the black cat crossing in front of you?
I'm superstitious, so that freaked me out as soon
Right,
as
so if that bad thing happens, what do you have to do to undo the superstition? Like, walk under a ladder?
Yeah, he has to walk under a ladder. He has to adopt a black cat.
All of the above.
Do it all.
Those are your half-hour headlines.
The National League Divisional Playoff games start today. Now, you got the Braves taking on the Brewers, which in any other year could garner a lot of attention, if not for those behemoths of baseball, the Dodgers taking on the Giants. 213 wins among them taking center stage. Now, our guys in Vegas have your NLDS betting preview. Take a look.
Welcome into the set of Daily Wager here on the Las Vegas Strip. I'm Doug Kazarian alongside Tyler Fulgham and Joe Fortenbaugh. The NL playoffs are set with the Dodgers' dramatic victory. Our top plays, and I'll start with the Blue Crew. I think they're going to win the National League pennant. They've been so good all season, as much as the Giants have certainly impressed me with the best record in all the baseball. Dodgers are right there, and then adding Trey Turner, the batting champ, to go along with Max Scherzer. I just think they're going to be too tough, even with Clayton Kershaw's injury, and we're not sure about Max Muncy.
Yeah, the way they won that game, that wild card game, shows you that they can win in all kinds of ways. They need to match, they need to win a close game. I'll look at that NLDS series between the Braves and the Brewers, and I have the Brewers advancing there because of their pitching staff. They struck out more hitters than any other staff in baseball, had the second best opponent average, had the third best ERA, and the fourth best whip in Major League Baseball. That's a massive advantage in the postseason.
Let's whittle down even smaller. Milwaukee Brewers in Game 1, but for the first 5 innings, full steam ahead on the Corbin Burns train was fantastic at home this year. Sub-3 ERA, held opponents to a less than 600 OPS, which is fantastic. Brewers didn't close strong. Only won 4 of their final 14 games, but I love the week off. 8-3 over their last 11 when they had at least one off day. They're going to get their heads right. They're going to start strong against Atlanta.
All right, so a little bit of everything as we toss it back to SportsCenter.
Thanks, guys. Coming up on SportsCenter AM, it's a top 5 showdown in the Big Ten. Why Penn State's playoff dreams could be dashed against Iowa. And it's Friday, so you know what that means.
Counting down the 10 worst plays